Knife dope. More dope. Come and get your figs. What's up, fuckers? Your boy is back with a fresh batch of dope. Knife dope. That's right, people. The hits don't stop. Speaking of hits, how about a throwback? We're looking at the AD-15. You know, something that I've been doing as of late, as I feel that I am over the whole spending money on knives that seem to just, you know, after the honeymoon period, they usually just end up in the case. And I'm over that. Been trying to curtail the spending over here at Knife Dope Studios. And to combat that, what I've been doing is just kind of diving back into the collection and finding gems just like this one. Knife so nice that I bought it thrice. This one is the Cold Steel AD-15. Iconic knife in my eyes. Made even better by these titanium scales with skiff bearing upgrade from none other than Original Goat. Lest you forget where you can use code FUCKER to save yourself 15%. Head on over there and treat yourself. I would. All right, people, the shilling has stopped. Let's get to the dope. All right, all right. Now we're going to be taking a look at this Benchmade, but before we get to that, plot twist, bitches. I ended up adding this this knife to the collection. I shared it with some of y'all on the most recent episode of the Thebladecartel. However, that performance wasn't my best, and I'll explain. Oh, heads up! I am going to be doing my first live tonight on my channel. I kind of made the decision, so haven't figured out what time it will be, but I'll make a little announcement on the community post page. Finally time to take off them goddamn training wheels. But back to the dope. This was a knife I got via Swaparooski. Ended up having a trade partner with a new knife bro, Mr. Johnny Dubs. And this is none other than the Lamia, aka that Ric Flair, baby. Woo! In my opinion, this is the best looking Lamia ever. This is the Nature Grip. Hence why we gave you the Ric Flair analogy. But this has got these gorgeous Nature Grip CNC milled scales, which propel this knife to, this might be #1 here in the collection. At least as far as price it is, for sure. This one I think would be my most expensive knife in the collection currently. We've got Elmax blade steel, beautiful drop point apparatus. You get those nice milling lines on the blade. Not sure if the camera is showing it or not, but it's there. Trust me, as I'd never shit you. Now the action on this one is perfection. This is my third Lamia to date. I ended up scoring the Gen 3, which was actually their first time using bearings. Was a great knife, but I had some issues behind the scenes, so ended up kicking that down the road. Then I added Gen 2 with a bearing mod. Really loved that one. That one wasn't crew wear, but I ended up using that to acquire my Rincon. So yeah, this time around though, I believe we're going to keep this one, as this is one that I've wanted since it dropped. So big thank you to Johnny Dubs for accommodating me on the Swaparooski, and we now have this bitch in the collection. Now switching gears quite a bit, we're going to the production side of things. Got ourselves a little bit of Benchmade. Now, Benchmade for me, it's kind of been like a love-hate relationship. Either you love the brand or either you hate it. I seem to fall somewhere in the middle, as there are, you know, a few of their designs which I do like, and then there are a few of the designs which I absolutely despise. But this one comes in at $450. This was sent to me courtesy of the Apex Pass-Around group, and this is the 710. Comes in aluminum with some beautiful bi-directional milling lines, both sides of the knife. Single form of deployment, which is the nice set of tits. Right snug up against the scale. They give you a good chamfer for your launch point. And of course, their access lock. All right. Now, even though it doesn't have a traditional detent, the deployment was pretty goddamn easy. No issues on that. God, this is smooth, people. Very smooth. Full-size knife coming in at 8.9 inches. Of that, we've got 4 inches of CPM S90V. Steel of the gods, adorning a gorgeous FDE PVD coated blade. Got a nice recurve drop point. Actually digging that blade shape quite a bit, to be honest with you. Same finish is on the folded over stainless steel pocket clip. Looks like we've got T6s on the body. T10, I think. Yeah, T10 or bigger in the pivot. We also got pivot collars with that same brass colored theme. Flow through construction, full length stainless steel liners. Not crazy about that. Blade stock thickness came in at 114 thousandths. Nice high flat grind. Add those numbers up and what do we get? She's a slicey hoe. Now this is bigger than I typically like to carry, but that being considered, it seems to handle well. I don't think it's like obnoxiously large, but I like it in a weird way. You know, granted, I'm not a fan of their pricing, but you know, if you start to consider things fairly with an unbiased eye, you got to start thinking about some things. You know, number one, it's USA made, which we know we're going to always pay more for. And Benchmade is a big conglomerate. You know, they've got a lot of overhead. They've got a bunch of staff. You know, they have to abide by our country's labor laws and, you know, workers' comp, health insurance. They are giving you lifetime warranty, lifetime sharpening. So once you start adding all that up, you kind of can understand a little bit as to their pricing practice. I still feel that perhaps they are a little bit high, you know, but if I'm being honest, which I always strive to do with y'all, this isn't bad, man. I really ain't that bad about the design. Sure, I'm not the biggest crossbar guy, but very, very smooth. Something else they've done, which the first time I saw them do this was on the narrows, is they're actually giving us slanted tabs on the crossbar. Really wasn't sure how I felt about them the first time I tried them with the narrows, but the narrows, as you may know, is a mainstay here at KnifeDope Studios. I love it. You should too. But the 710, I dig it. Would have loved to have seen this maybe around $350, or if they were insistent on giving us this $450 price, I would have loved for them to not have these full-length stainless steel liners. They could have done some minimal liners. You know, we've seen other knives do that, and yeah, that's how the fuck I feel about it. Let's go ahead and put some knives up for some size comparison. Basically, a little bit of knife flexing. You know how the fuck we do. Gotta roll with America first. We're gonna hit them like this. Spyderco Man X2, River's Edge Cutlery exclusive. Also rocking some original goat scales. How about the award-winning Para 3 with those beautiful RG Custom Metalworks titanium scales? So there you see those. Let's do a couple more, shall we? How about some crossbar lock knives? One that I've fallen in love with all over again, and that is the TRM Shadow. How about some budget dope? Ew. We got a good one though. CJRB Shale. Now I'll tell you, CJRB has managed to I wouldn't say perfect, but damn, they are producing good crossbar lock knives. You know, something I can show y'all when it comes to crossbar lock knives, if you want to see if it's got good tension right out the box. When it's in the closed position, if you pull down on the crossbar lock and you see that knife jump out a little bit, that means there's good tension in that knife, you know. This TRM Shadow, I did swap out the springs, and you can see we also have a little bit of action from the closed position. That's kind of a little cheat code to let you know. All right, let's do two more. God damn it, two more. How about this classic? We're looking at the Christensen Knifework Collaboration Alliance Design Kraken. And then last but certainly not least, more American dope for your palate. We're gonna go with the ProTech Mordax, rocking that bulbous set of tits. And so there you see the 710 up against those. Now, you know, when I talk about not having liners on your aluminum knives, look at ProTech, for example. Solid slabs of aluminum, No liners to speak of. There is a little baby liner which accommodates the plunge there, or rather your plunge lock mechanism. That is it. Outside of that, solid aluminum scales, very robust, feels sturdy in hand, and at a fraction of the price. I think these come in about $280, $250, something like that. USA made, magna cum laude for the steel. It can be done. Now, something else that could be done, and I'd love to see Benchmade throw their hat in the ring, is, yeah, they are the inventor of the crossbar lock. You know, their brand is synonymous with that locking mechanism. But now that the patent is over, I would love to try to see them give us something different, you know. I feel that, you know, they had the market, cornered when it came to that locking mechanism. But now we've got brands all across the world doing it. Some even giving us better options, or rather better locking mechanisms than Benchmade themselves. So I would really love to see maybe a frame lock, a nested liner lock. The possibilities are endless, but of course they won't do it. But more importantly, I want to know what you fuckers think. Are you a Benchmade fan? How about this goddamn Lamia? Tell me all about it. Love you, mean it. Until the next time. Cut something, cut someone. Just don't cut yourself. Stay dangerous, fuckers.